everyone, it's Jazzy, and today I am going to be kicking off a new series to kind of liven up my channel called Jazzy's Tea. And on this series, I am going to be unleashing my salty self and just talk about the world, especially the idol world and my life and stuff, while sipping literal tea. Sorry about the sort of like awkward lighting. It's like the middle of the day right now, and I've got my LED over here too to try to balance out the sides, but I don't know, looks a little awkward, don't know how much I'm going to be able to fix and post, so here we go. Today I am drinking some vanilla spice tea, and I know like the hardcore tea people out there are going to be like flipping out because my tea has literally got so much milk in it, like I'm probably barely going to be able to taste the tea, but it's fine. Sometimes I like just drinking something really sugary and bad for me. So today's topic, to get things started off nicely, is going to be my future career. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, I occasionally mention things about my actual life. You may already know that I'm a film student in college currently. If you don't, I'm a film student in college. I'll be entering my senior year in the fall, and as soon as this summer, I'm going to be looking at a lot of jobs in the industry and really try to start working while I'm still in school. Now, the reason that this is going on a tea series is because I get a lot of really dumb hate. I've gotten a lot of like complaints, mostly anon, because people are cowards, about like me not cosplaying as much anymore. And I even get some like, why don't you cosplay at all anymore? And I do, it's just not as big of a part of my life as it used to be. I've really been focusing on my idol stuff, and some people apparently don't like that. But I can't win because people hate when I post cosplay too. Hold on, I gotta take a sip here. People have this idea that somehow my cosplay diminishes my idol work or something. I don't know, it's weird. So let's talk a little bit about what I do, what I want to do for a living, why I'm doing idol stuff in the first place. So I have been performing my entire life, literally my entire life. I danced consistently for about 14 years and did theater and acting for about 8-ish, I want to say. And to this day, I still act from time to time in other people's film projects and stuff. That's just kind of what happens when you're a film student at times and you're willing to do things for people. I mean, it's mostly because like I'm way too nice and I say I'm going to act and then I end up doing all this grip work too, or I say I'm going to assistant direct and I end up in front of the camera. Yeah, sometimes it just kind of happens that I end up doing way more than I initially sign on for. It just happens, it's fine. When I was starting college, about 3 years ago now actually, I knew that I wouldn't have as much time to perform for fun like I once did. So I decided to pick like one performance thing that I really loved and really dedicate myself to it. And that happened to be idols and that sort of like performance aesthetic. Like I think at the very beginning of college, the very beginning of my first year, I was still a part of a cosplay dance group, but it's just that like I wasn't really as invested in that as I wanted to be with some sort of performance art, so I picked my own idol performance stuff, and I didn't take it too seriously at first. One thing I tried really hard to do that was kind of a mistake was appeal to everyone. I really wanted everyone to like me, and that's just not realistic. That's not going to happen. So that's why I still did a lot of cosplay performances and videos in my first year or so of being active as an idol online. And yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake because you're never going to please everyone no matter what you do. There's always going to be the haters there. But I started thinking about my idol stuff more and more, and I just kind of realized that like I'm never going to appeal to everyone, so I really should be doing what I want to be doing. And I'm still working on that because I still find myself trying to appeal to a group of people that doesn't really matter because they're never going to like me no matter what I do. And deep down, I really do want to keep doing this, and I want to be taken seriously to some degree. Like, this is sort of a second job for me. It's more than just a hobby. It's a fun job, but I don't allow myself to slack off and not try my best on things, even though I'm sure we've like all done it. Every performer's done it. They put out something they're not quite proud of, and then they regret it, but I mean, we're our own worst critics, so that's just kind of how it goes. But like, even when I'm very busy with film things and I don't have a lot of time to work on new music videos and things like that, I'm always practicing. Like, I practice every day. Unless I'm like sick and can't sing, then I don't practice when I'm dying. Usually. Sometimes I do, and then I overdo it, and then I shouldn't do that. Don't be me. But now that I'm no longer in formal voice training, formal dance training, it's all on me to improve and get better. I have tried to take a couple like ballet classes to kind of keep up my technique a little bit, but it just hasn't really worked out. It just hasn't really ended up working with my schedule, and like the place kept changing locations, and that was one of the few places that had really solid classes that I could afford. So yeah, it kind of sucks that I'm not doing it anymore, but yeah. Like, fun fact about me, in case you didn't know, I was like a hardcore ballerina for a really long time. I was never like super good, like the most incredible ballerina ever, because like there was a lot of things overall that held me back, like switching studios so many times and not having a consistent one style of technique, because I had to keep learning. Like, every studio has kind of like their own like style, sort of, and I had to keep relearning styles every time I switched studios. Like, they did a few things differently, and yeah, I think overall that really held me back as a dancer, even though like overall as a dancer I was pretty good. I wasn't like as good as I think I could have been, if that makes sense. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about right now. Bottom line, the reason I don't cosplay as much anymore, here's the real tea, is that it's not as beneficial to me anymore. Cosplay for me is just a hobby. It's not something like I really can monetize. It's not really something that is super beneficial or like a productive use of my time constantly. I really like focusing on like my original designs and stuff like that, because that's like part of the job. Cosplay really isn't. And yeah, I can wear cosplay for like a couple Patreon shoots or like for fun to a convention, which I do all the time. It's just that, like, for me, where my career is going and where my idol work is going, cosplay's not a big part of that, and that's just okay. My interests have changed over the years. Like, cosplay is not what's going to get me booking performance gigs, generally. And also, original designs look a lot better in my portfolio than just cosplays do. Costume design is something that I could see myself doing as a full-time job if I keep working to improve and get better and better, because I feel like I have had enough experience that that is something I could do, and I never really thought about that a lot when I first started sewing. Like, I have designed for a short film. I do have that experience under my belt, and I just want to keep going with it. You know, if that works out, then it works out. If it doesn't, then there's other things I could do too. I don't want to limit myself, like, as far as my film specialty, so to speak. And right now, there is a lot of cosplay in my portfolio, but I'm hoping that over time that will change as I make more high-quality original designs. I'm working on a couple right now that I haven't, like, showed anybody except a few sneak previews on my Patreon, but I'm really excited for some of my upcoming original designs. I hope everyone likes them. But yeah, I've seen a lot of cosplayers say like, oh, I could easily get a costume design job because I have all this cosplay I've made. But employers, like, from what I understand, they don't really want to see that as much as they want to see like your creativity and you creating your own design and bringing that to life. Like, I'm not trying to diminish cosplay because it is a talent. Like, there are extremely talented cosplayers, but it's just that if you're really trying to get into costume design, then you need to design, if that makes sense. And before I started, like, this idol stuff, my portfolio was basically entirely cosplay. Like, when I made my first, like, when I was first, like, laying out my portfolio stuff, I was like, wow, this is so much cosplay. Like, I'm never gonna get hired with this. Fun fact, though, wigs are something that people really like to see, that you can style a wig and make it look, like, good. So that's one thing cosplay will get you, and that's one thing that has been really beneficial to me on the cosplay side. I love playing with wigs. I just sometimes don't like wearing them. But I think overall, my idol stuff has really been beneficial to helping me improve my skills for, like, my day jobs, so to speak, or the day jobs I hope to have, because it's not like I have a great film job right now. It'll be a while before that happens. Like, some of my favorite things to do and things that I have some skill in are things like sound and VFX and editing. And my idol videos have been extremely good practice in those things. Not as much VFX. I've been working on trying to incorporate a little bit more of that. But one of my goals is to really start adding some more story and sort of cinematic elements to my music videos. My first real try at this was with LoveToon, and I hope to be able to work with some of my filmmaker friends to really create more polished videos in the future. Because with LoveToon, the story is, basically I had the story and a single camera operator and we just like winged it. Don't do that. I really needed to plan that like an actual film, like I would plan an actual film I was making. You guys have probably never seen my short films, because I haven't put really any of them online. But yeah, I really want to keep trying harder and really try to make some really solid videos, because I want to be able to show that like I am a filmmaker. I'm not just like another idol making like little like fun music videos. I want to make some like things with stories and like cool things like that. Though I'm still gonna make cheesy idol videos from time to time. Like we all know what's gonna happen. So, wow, this went on longer than I thought. That's probably enough from me on this subject. I hope you enjoyed your journey into my life. I hope to see you next time I'm ready to share some tea.